know what it is. Bro, bets back week 1 NFL recap, and we're going to talk about week 2 NFL. Hey, man, we're in live form. We hate to break the news. When you see this already, you've probably seen Jets don't start off on a good start. You'll see in the back of Parlay screen. By the way, it's Life of D Green.
I'm Parlay Hunter.
You know what it is, man. By the way, when you're watching the Jets-Bills game by this time, when you see this video, Aaron Rodgers is already injured in the first drive. What do you got to say to that just to open?
Ooh, man, I know it is quiet at MetLife Stadium right now.
You were there yesterday, weren't you?
I was at the Giants game. It was a good time, but it was a blowout by, we'll get to that later. But,
Okay.
You know what? Tonight there was a lot of hype right now, and they're playing. It's Buffalo, it's New York, bro. It's the Jets. Like, it was a big game, and for a season opener, not looking good. First drive, Aaron Rodgers goes down. His leg bends like this, and his ankle, like, pretend this is his ankle, this is his leg.
So he was doing like this? Was he doing a little?
No, it was
he was like,
he actually got up for a minute. He was standing up, and then he started rolling on the ground, started doing a little break dance. Was waiting for somebody to come pick him up. So they helped him off. Then he went to the tent, and then they brought the cart out. So now he just got on the cart, and now he is being in the locker room. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean, we don't want to say anything we don't really know what's going to happen. Obviously, we're only, still the first quarter of the game. So more information will come out later. But let's get to what we got to talk about today on the podcast. Let's talk about the recap.
Hey, here we go, man, with the roundup. So we're going to talk about some CFB updates, a little biggest takeaways of week 1. What's going on with these quarterbacks this year? Are the Vikings bad or is Tampa good? We'll get to that. Are the Dolphins a Super Bowl contender? Man, I've been hating on them for a while, but hey, I might have something in that comment for that. What are we looking forward to the next 2 Thursday night matchup? Doesn't seem to be that great to me. The Eagles versus the Vikings. I don't know. We'll get to that. And big primetime matchups week 2, and then our pick'ems rapid fire best bets of the week. Here we go, man. Hey, real quick about this college football. We're going to keep it short and sweet, man. Roll Tide losing to Horns Up this week. Shout out to Reese. He's a Texas fan. I'm not going to talk about his NFL team. I don't want to talk about that right now. But anyways, yes. Texas goes into Alabama for the first time to Bryant-Denny Stadium. Beats Alabama. Dominates the game pretty much. It was back and forth for a while. Just quick thoughts on it. Bama don't develop a quarterback. They will not be going to college football playoffs. LSU will win the West. Georgia will win the East. Georgia will go to college football playoff. Simple as that, man. I don't know if you got anything to say. Did you catch any?
Oh, man, I loved watching Quinn Ewers just almost throw for 400 yards. He would have had over 400 yards. He almost had 4 touchdowns. He had 3 touchdowns, 350 yards. A lot of pass interference from the Bama DBs. So I don't know what's going on there. They got a lot of things they got to clean up. I know I heard Nick Saban say they're going to start going from less of a spread offense, more of it into a running, in your face, in the trenches type of offense. But right now, it's not looking too good for Nick Saban and Bama always being that number 1 team. I don't know if they're the number 1 team anymore. I mean, I think those days are over, at least until they get it figured out.
Yeah, I don't think no one fears them, especially now losing at home. I do agree with you. Nick Saban will adapt. He has always done it with his offense. His defense has always been solid, but his offense needs to adapt to what their playing style is, what type of quarterback they got. Get back to the ground and pound like Bama used to do back in the day. And so I think they'll be good, man. On to Colorado Express, continue to build, man. Week 2 matchup versus their old rival, Nebraska. Should've hit him with the should've. I don't know if you heard what Ricky Rose said. Hold up. Let me get my watch real quick, man. I don't know if you've seen the pregame of the game. Dude from Nebraska, we're going to call him Lil Man because we still don't know his name. I don't know what his name is, but shout him out. Lil Man came up to Shadur at Mid Stadium, and Shadur hit him with that AP like this. So anytime I do this, Hillmeyer, it means you can't see me. John Cena, take it throwback. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Colorado looks pretty good. I'm really intrigued. I'm ready to see what they're going to do in about 2 weeks at Oregon. I think they'll win, and then that'll lead to a top 10 matchup. Yeah, I said it. A top 10 matchup, them versus USC in 3 weeks, bro. That's going to be something.
Imagine if they win that game. I mean, we just have to talk about it. Colorado, bro, like, they're going to be seriously up there at come playoff time. If they just keep wiping out these teams by 21 points, you got to talk about them, man. I know it's like everyone had questions about the O-line. Dude, that might be the best quarterback that might be the best player in college football in Shedeur Sanders. He's the son of Primetime. That's not a crazy thing to say just because it's week 2 of the college football season. I mean, dude, like things change by the end of the year. I mean, the last year, the guys that you thought were going to win Heisman weren't even in contention when it came to Heisman. So right now, we're looking at a crazy thing in Colorado, and maybe Shedeur Sanders, number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft. It could be done. It could be possible. Why not? And they got maybe the number 2 guy getting drafted with Travis Hunter. So best 2-way player in college football. So yeah, Colorado, hey man, sky's the limit.
You just mentioned, I just seen Mel put Shedeur as his 3rd-ranked quarterback right now to go first round, man. It's going to continue to build, which is crazy to me just because of everybody that doubted the kid. Dude's already threw in 2 games, he's almost thrown for 1,000 yards and 9 touchdowns and no interceptions. So.
And it's like he beats the eye test. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes it's offensive schemes, it's a bunch of things. I mean, dude, that guy he passes all the eye tests.
He's not only throwing NFL throws. He's just like I continue to say, man, his poise, his demeanor, his command at that quarterback position, man, it's not been done a lot at his level as far as just a player in the Pac-12 or even in college football playoffs and just what he demands week in, week out. I'm glad that, we're getting to see this ball. Can't wait to see what they'll do. College game day is in Colorado this week. So be interesting to see what goes on. So, man, right to it. Let's get to it, Parlay, man. Biggest takeaways this week, NFL-wise. What games stood out? What stats stood out? What just intrigued you?
Well, we'll start with Dallas and Giants. Obviously, watching that Dallas defense, Michael Parsons looks like him. I mean, we were saying possibly in the last podcast, Pro Bowl bets week 1, we were talking about Parsons Defensive Player of the Year. I think both of us might have been right about that one. He looked like Lawrence Taylor, you know what I mean? Coming off the line, just beating everybody, just sacking the dude. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Pause. But you know what I'm saying? He is very good. I mean, Michael, and that defense looks great. And then the Giants, they got a lot of questions. I mean, I don't care, bro. Like that first drive, you let a field goal, literally a blocked field goal return, return, I think, for a touchdown after that first drive. And everything went to downhill after that. No momentum, not a single good play for the rest of the game after that. You can't have a good drive and then let that happen. I don't know how that happened. And from the coach of the year, last year coach of the year, Brian Daboll. So that was a huge shocker, huge surprise. And I'm very down on the Giants right now. I know that sometimes these things happen and you just have to forget about it and move on. And that might be what their plan is to do, completely erase it from their memory. Next week, it's a fresh slate, new start, and for the rest of the season. But yeah, very big disappointment there for the Giants. And I mean, you just got to say, wow, for the Cowboys. Good for them.
Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of takeaways, that one included. We'll get to that elephant in the room, man. I'm not going to run from it. I'm going to always ride with my team, man. Very disappointed in my team. As you know, I'm a diehard Steelers fan. San Francisco came in there.
Talk about it.
Pause and shellacked us. Pause. They did what they came to play. We'll just say it like that. And then I just think it just amplified more that San Francisco is the number 1 team in the NFC. Next to me right now, if I was to rank San Francisco number 1, I really like, because of their defense, and not only their defense, I would never say this without good intentions, but the Cowboys, because they have 2 good corners back there. I think we already know, like we just said, what you just said, Michael Parsons, the D-line, the front 7 itself is great. But now bringing Stephon Gilmore, it has amplified the play of Trayvon Diggs. And so even their safeties are playing good. And so I think the Cowboys defense is going to take them to a game where Dak doesn't have to be more than what we expect him to be, and they'll get the run game going.
Can you tell us? I just want to hear what you guys say about Brock Purdy and Kenny Pickett.
I think Brock Purdy is a good quarterback. I'm still saying good. I don't think he's an elite quarterback because I don't think they'll ever have to win games with him making quarterback plays. They have a balanced offense. They have a system offense. Kyle Shanahan puts him in great positions, doesn't make the game hard for him as far as passing-wise. I mean, you went against Pat P in his 13th year. Let's try that against Pat P in his first year and see what happened. Levi Wallace, I'm very disappointed. I believe he's gone down far as he used to be a great technician corner. I don't know what Mike T and them doing. I think we need to press more if we're going to blitz. I believe we need to press more. We should have jammed up their wide receivers, make them win on the deep ball. I don't know. Kenny Pickett, I don't know. He's not confident right now. I still blame our offensive coordinator, and people are calling for Mike Tomlin to be fired. People in our fan group. Oh yeah, man. I had a fan. Somebody, I won't name him, hit me up. Supposed to be a so-called fan, and it's like, yeah, I think we need to get rid of Mike Tomlin, and I'm just like, I don't know. And so, to me, I think it's you got to get rid of the offensive coordinator. Then you got to just continue to build on defense. Our defense will play. T.J. Watt still did T.J. Watt things. Cam Hayward was injured, and so he was trying to fight an injury. I think our front seven played good, but it's just San Francisco as a whole is good. They're solid pause on defense, and they're very good efficiently on offense. They don't make too many mistakes offensively. That's the one thing I'll say. That's what makes Brock Purdy seem to be better than what he really is, because he doesn't need to never make a play. He doesn't need to make an Aaron Rodgers throw, a Josh Allen, a Joe Burrow, a Pat Mahomes. He just
Can I say Brock Purdy looked better this year than he did last year? He made some good throws to Brandon Ayuk.
By the way, Brandon Ayuk is their number one receiver.
Great receiver.
Ryan Clark said, Brandon Ayuk is their number one receiver. Debo may be one of their best playmakers, but Brandon Ayuk is their number one receiver.
And Ayuk and Purdy look better. They look improved this year.
So I just think I got to see more from Brock Purdy, but San Francisco as a whole team, they're number one in the NFC by far. And so, I mean, that wasn't even really my biggest takeaway. It was just, to me, week one was kind of unpredictable. I expected more from the Bears. I wasn't surprised by Jordan Love impressing. I think he did pretty good. I think he's going to be good in Green Bay for years to come. I think he lived up to the moment.
Let's just on Chicago and Green Bay. I thought Jordan Love played great. I mean, I think Aaron Jones. I mean, for what they're working with. I mean, Romeo Dobbs, Luke Musgrove. I mean, that Musgrave tight end. I mean, they very, very played above. I feel like they're they played above and beyond the expectations, and what a letdown by the Bears and Justin Fields, because the expectations were high.
The interesting thing is going to be, Packers have a whole young team all around. So the thing that is going to be Jordan Love and how he commands his team for years to come, and I think he'll do good. I just think that right now it's baby steps with him, and he'll grow the bigger the game gets and things like that. And they might be. Let's not forget Packers defense. When they want to play, they have a very good defense. I will say that their front seven is pretty good, and then Jair Alexander and them boys back there in the DB spots pretty good. So I'm not a Packers fan, but I'm not saying that the Packers won't be there in contentions for a playoff spot. Everybody else, the Ravens did their thing. Let's talk about Cleveland. Your Browns. I mean, they look pretty good. Now everybody wants to praise Deshaun Watson again. Let's not remember who said that Deshaun Watson would make this type of effect in Cleveland, man.
I gotta say though, I watched that game. Deshaun Watson is very much like he is not in his MVP form. He was great. He was number 5 in fantasy scoring. He had a good game, but the first half was a little rocky, and he still doesn't, to me, look like Deshaun Watson on the Texans. I mean, I still think that he's got more. I don't know if it's a rhythm thing. I don't know if it's an offensive adjustment thing. I mean, but the team is still good. Unfortunately, there was a big injury on the offensive line, but as long as Nick Chubb is still carrying that ball, I think that offense will be very good.
I mean, to the man's defense, man, the game was raining. I mean, nobody was really throwing the ball yesterday, and then when they did, nobody was really going crazy outside of Tua pretty much yesterday. So, I mean, we'll expect better to come, man. I'm going to get to it, man. Are the Vikings bad, or is Tampa better than we expected them to be?
Man, I think that's a very tough question. I mean, Baker Mayfield, he is much better when the lights are off. You know what I mean? When he doesn't have all this attention on him, he's a much better player. Okay.
We're going to turn in the camera on and Mason.
Which part?
He's better when the lights are
Oh, pause. Yeah. Oh, my God. Oh, yeah.
Pause.
All right.
That might be the reel of the week for me, right?
All right. Well, pause that. But Baker Mayfield, with the lights off, he be shaking, he be grooving, he be moving that thing. Pause. You know what I'm saying? He be moving them sticks. Pause. You know what I'm saying?
Whoa.
Yeah. But okay,
Who
but
is this guy, man?
hey. All right, so but real talk, he's much better when he's not doing 30 commercials, when he's not doing 30 progressive commercials, and he's not the got all this spotlight and media isn't asking him and basically baiting him into talking shit. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a much better player when he's not on all that. So he looked actually so much better. And you got Mike Evans, Hall of Famer receiver. And the defense is good. And Todd Bowles he's been coaching a long time, going up against a Vikings team, which we talked like they might have something to prove. And they probably did. Jordan Addison looked good, by the way, but still, they had, it's like Madison looked good too. So it's kind of like, I think you have to say Tampa is actually good. That's just how I'm going to say for those reasons.
I'll say this. Vikings play lazy, and that's going to be their downfall because they don't have a great defense to back it up. And if they want to be able to, wow, I'm sorry, bro.
What's up?
I'm sorry. Live in effect, you'll see it right now on your screen. I don't want to break the news, but that's a hell of a run by Breece Hall.
Yes, Breece Hall, very good running back.
Pretty good, great play right there. I think that's going to be a nice combination.
He's going to
be a star. Him and Dalvin Cook. That's going to be a nice combination. But no, back to the Vikings. I mean, let's not to mention Justin Jefferson looked very much in high gear, had 143 yards and 7 receptions in the first half. The Vikings couldn't get him, he had 138. He had only 12 yards in the second half after doing that. So that's the laziness. And I put that on Kevin O'Connell. That's terrible. How is the best receiver in the league go into halftime with a stat line that ends a game, 138 yards? That's somebody gets that in the game. He had that at halftime. Tyreek Hill wouldn't have been the only person with 216 for the day. If that was me, I would have fed Justin Jefferson the ball. He would probably end up with 250 and a touchdown at least. And so I think that the Bucs are going to be competitive because they're a former recent Super Bowl champion. They still got Mike Evans. They still got
easy division.
Decent defense back there. Antonio Winfield, all pro to me. Levante David, Devin White still there. Defensive line is pretty good. So they're going to compete. But the Vikings just play lazy, and it's going to be their downfall. Kirk Cousins isn't a bad quarterback. He actually played pretty good. And my thing is, it's just when the Vikings got to play great teams, they play better, it seems to be. But when they're supposed to, win games they're supposed to win, they play exactly the way they did. Came out hot, and then just was flat the rest of the game. And so for me, I don't know. I just say it's a so-so. It's like, yeah, Tampa's all right, but the Vikings just not terrible, but they're lazy. And that happens with their coaching staff. It's just gonna be they're gonna just be about padding stats and making record breaker things and like that. So it's gonna get ugly. And I mean, it's just making room for the Packers or the Lions to win the division. So because the Bears, I don't know about the Bears, man.
But
I don't know about the Bears, I said.
The Bears, Justin Fields, I mean, that's a little bit of a letdown. But why don't we talk real quick about the Ravens and the Texans before we get on to the next question? Because you did mention them. I do just want to say that I thought CJ Stroud actually looked pretty good. Rookie quarterback. I mean, his stat line wasn't too bad. And I mean, you can't expect a lot out of such a young team. Will Anderson got his first sack. I mean, you just don't expect a lot from that team. That's fine. The Ravens, they were without Mark Andrews, which usually slows down that offense. Lamar struggled a little bit, but Zay Flowers looked amazing. He had like 9 catches. You know what I mean? So I think that and J.K. Dobbins went out. So that's terrible, but it seems like their starting running back always goes out. So Gus Edwards is basically, the guy over there. So we'll see with the Ravens, in your division with the Steelers and the Browns and the Bengals. Toughest division, but I actually, for that game, I just want to say I think CJ Stroud and Will Anderson look good. So good for Houston.
I think it was a small sample size of seeing what they could do, and I just think that he looked pretty good. I think Lamar was not not great. He wasn't playing like he normally does. I mean, I just think that, like I said, man, shout out to J.K. Dobbins, man. This dude's career since he got into the league has just been pretty bad. Like, I think back-to-back ACLs and now a torn Achilles. I read somebody was like, man, he should retire, but I wouldn't pause. I wouldn't say that to him like in that way. I would just be like, hey man, like, I don't know if you should play after those type of injuries, but I was gonna be interesting to see. Baltimore didn't stand out to me in the division. If I'm gonna go just based off of last week, Cleveland looking pretty good right now. Cincinnati, Baltimore, than us. So, I mean, I'm just gonna be real. We at the bottom right now because we just got some soul searching to do, man. We got to do better, man. On to the Dolphins, man. Are they Super Bowl contenders or are they just front running right now?
I mean, you have a really good system to win a Super Bowl. You got two receivers who can burn anybody in the league. And the best receiver, I'm going to go on record and say that right now, Tyreek Hill is the best wide receiver in the league. And you saw it yesterday when he caught a fade. Little guys ain't supposed to be catching fades. He caught a fade yesterday. And I'm just saying, like, that guy, he has a superpower. He has that 3.9 speed. He can burn anybody. You know what I'm saying? Speedy Gonzalez, he gonna burn him. He is Speedy Gonzalez. He can burn anybody. So I think you got the best receiver in the league in Tyreek Hill. You got Jalen Waddle. You got Tua. You got and Tua he looks good too. Tua's got an arm like all that crap.
But I mean, we seen this week one last year though. We did. We seen
matter,
week
bro.
Week two.
But his ability is that he can do it.
I don't think that was never a question. The question was always health.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was for this whole team. Not just let's keep this in fact, and not just Tua. You got Jalen Ramsey,
right? But when Ramsey comes back, if they're all healthy, I mean, you got a crazy sick defense now. Why not, Miami in the Super Bowl? I mean, right now we just watched Rodgers go down. Looks like it's going to be a tough season for the Jets. You know what I mean? It's never, New England is not like that. Buffalo ain't really, like that. So, I mean, Buffalo's fallen off throughout the year. So, yeah, I think Miami could make a run to the Super Bowl this year.
We'll see, man. I think Patriots didn't. Let's get on that game if we're going to say anything. I agree with your points. I just don't think that Miami is there yet for me to say them Super Bowl contenders. I think they make an exact same run like they did last year to the divisional playoff round. And then in that game is going to determine a lot. Have they taken the next step? Is Tua healthy? And by then, if he is healthy and they're clicking on all cylinders on offense, I think they could make it to the conference championship. Now, them versus the Chiefs, I don't know. Because the Chiefs, it's just something about AFC Championship, Chiefs, Bengals, Buffalo, they come to play. And so we'll see when we get there. But just a quick point, New England competed hard yesterday. They look very good versus the former NFC champion. And let's not talk about the reign, but it's still Bill Belichick. I know Tom Brady was in attendance. He's about to get honored this whole season in the Patriots. But to me, it's like, Bill, we got to give Bill Belichick some respect still. He's going to coach the guys good. He's going to make sure that they're coming out ready to play. And they're literally right there in every game. And it showed. Like, Mac Jones looked pretty good to me. Like, completing percentage was pretty good. I mean, even in the rain, they don't really have super big name weapons like these other teams. So I think the AFC East is now, if Aaron Rodgers is out for the next 6-7 weeks, bro, it's going to be interesting to see. And so that's my point. We don't know yet what Miami, let alone Buffalo, is going to look like. You still got Miami, Buffalo, New England, and the Jets. And so it's going to be interesting to see, man.
I hear what you're saying, but I want to just say that the Eagles, they didn't really play anybody in the preseason. They had to knock off some rust. And the Eagles really look like if they could just, like their final season form, like how they looked last year during the playoff time, is just a crazy machine. And once that whole D-line gets going and the interior of the D-line gets going, I mean, and Darius Slay looked good. I think that, he had a pick six. So, like, I think that the Philadelphia Eagles really is like, it's just kind of like, it's week one. So once week 3, week 4 comes around, once they get that well-oiled machine going, I think that the Eagles will, be a dominant force in the league again. Good for New England. But still, I actually think that Philly, what I saw from that game is that once they clean it up, which a lot of teams have to do, like especially like the Giants, once they clean it up, And every team got a little something to clean up. But once the Philadelphia Eagles do, they might make another run to that Super Bowl. I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm sorry. I had to just had a breaking thought in my mind. I got Aaron Rodgers on my fantasy team. That just it's bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, that's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
On a Thursday night football.
I got him too. Yeah, I got him on a team as well. Yeah.
I'm going through it right now, man. Trying to get through the show. Anyways, speaking of the Eagles, Thursday night open up their home opener versus the Vikings. Initial thoughts. I just think this game is going to kind of be a repeat of last year. Vikings defense is not that good. I think the Eagles, if this game is not raining, I think they run the ball good. I think they pass it even better. I think this is going to be a great game for AJ Brown to expose the Vikings secondary. Other than that, I just think that this is just another game for the Vikings that we get to see their true colors. No defense. Offenses can be explosive at times, but they're playing a great defense. So you see, that's all I say. I don't know what the line is open up at. I'm going to check.
I'll tell you right now, the line is -7 for Philly, a whole touchdown. That's a lot. Give
me a minus 7.5. I'm taking them over 7.5.
Wow. So you think they're gonna blow? It's gonna be a blowout. Wow. Okay. Well, not looking good for the Vikings. I'm next week I'm definitely looking towards the Chiefs and the Jaguars. Kansas City is favored by 3, but Jags are a hot team. I think that they got a lot to prove. Again, all these teams got a little something to clean up. And Jags included, keeping it close with Indianapolis up until the fourth quarter. They won that game by 10 points and they covered the spread. Trust me, I know, because I was sweating it. But I did think that, Jags, once they clean it up and they look like a Super Bowl ready team, or Super Bowl contender or playoff team, which they probably will at the end of the season with Trevor Lawrence playing quarterback. So this week 2 game, we're going to see Trevor and Mahomes. Could be a matchup that we see for a long time. Both great quarterbacks. Very looking excited to that. And I'm not going to take a side or anything or a line. I just know it's -3, but I'll be off of that. But I would be very entertained by that. Mahomes. We'll see if Kelsey's back. It could be a shootout. With how good Ridley looks with Lawrence as well, and then the way that Mahomes can distribute the ball. Yeah, that could be a very, very high scoring good game.
By the way, Chris Jones just signed a deal today, so that's complete.
Good for him.
They'll get him back. That they will need that. I mean, if Travis Kelce is still ruled out, I haven't heard any word yet. What it's going to look like. He's questionable. I think he plays. They know the importance of this game. Week 2, this was a rematch of the divisional game last year, so I think he plays. What'll be interesting to see how healthy is he. But I think the Jaguars are going to come out fireworks for sure. I keep saying it. My comeback player of the year, fantasy player of the year for me, Calvin really did what I thought he was going to do the first game. It's interesting to continue to see that. Ravens Bengals. That's going to be interesting, man.
Yeah,
it's going to be an interesting one. Just for the fact of Ravens, they won, but it was kind of just a lethargic game, and the Bengals obviously got shellacked by the Browns, and so it'll be interesting to see that, man. As I'm looking at any other more games.
Yeah. Well, no, I want to say, that's another game where it's like both of those teams, they got a lot of things to clean up. The Bengals and the Ravens got a lot to clean up. The Ravens just always are missing pieces, and with the Dobbins injury and whatnot, and Andrews is out. Like, I mean, hopefully Odell can be healthy, but they're always missing pieces, and it affects Lamar's play. I mean, Lamar. When everyone's healthy, Lamar is an MVP quarterback, but when there's all these things struggling and whatnot, it's also on Harbaugh. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to make sure that it all works, and because Lamar is an MVP quarterback, but I mean that team got things to figure out, as well as the team that they're facing, and the Bengals obviously putting up 3 points. I mean, it's just unacceptable with a team like that. And T. Higgins putting up 0 fantasy points, 0 catches, 0 yards. I would request, I would be looking to trade him in fantasy, and I might have to do that.
Yeah. I feel bad for you as an owner, man. I know you're going through some hard times right now. Expect to see better days ahead. This game that was supposed to be intriguing next week, Jets going to the Cowboys. This should be another shellac. I think that the Cowboys defense, no Aaron Rodgers for sure. He's out. He's been ruled out for the rest of this game. I know for sure he won't play next week. I can almost guarantee that. I think the Cowboys defense turns it up another whole notch. Trayvon Diggs might have 2 interceptions. That might be a best bet of the week. I'll take him over 1.5 interceptions. He's probably getting a lot of plus points on that. Be interested to see Monday night how my Steelers respond at home versus the Browns. Very interesting to see that. I think this is a better matchup for us. Obviously, their defense is good. It's not as good as San Francisco all around, but their Browns defense is, I got to put respect on their name, man. Myles Garrett, Denzel Ward, those couple guys, they're big leaders there. But I think that we play much better offensively and defensively. I think we can get after Deshaun Watson and make it hell for him at home. I think Mike Tomlin, this is going to be a big game for him as a coach already week 2. I think he silenced the critics. I always, you know me, I'm 1-0 every week. I believe my team's going to win, but I really do think we're going to bounce back. We're at home. I think there's an importance to look better in this game. Even if we were to lose, there's got to be a better fight.
Yeah. Well, I just want to say, going back to that Jets and Cowboys game, if, we're going to see how the Jets play in this game, but Dallas's defense, I mean, yeah, like I do think, I mean, they just shut out the Giants, 0 points. It doesn't get any better than that. So the Cowboys might end up being the best defense because they have like the best defense on paper, you know what I mean? So they might end up being the best defense in the league by the end of the year. I mean, it was always like they kind of underperformed. Now it's like they're performing at their highest ability. You think Diggs could get 2 interceptions next week? So, like, I mean, yeah, we could be looking at something really special in Dallas with that defense. And, I mean, Dak Prescott, if he's got a really good defense behind him, just keep feeding CD Lamb, arguably top 5, you know what I mean, receivers in the league.
Say that. That's
I said arguably, you know what I'm saying? Arguably top 5. You know what I mean?
That's
if you live in Dallas,
you got to argue. Nobody's arguing.
Someone's arguing me. And I mean, you're arguing with me. So
I'm not really. I'm
saying he could be top 5. What
I'm kind of correcting you to let you know that's not an arguable thing. It's not. Nobody thought that. Like nobody. Like just be quiet for a second, just to see if anybody thought that.
I think that. All right.
Okay. Anyway,
top 5 possibly receivers in the league. Tony Pollard's good. Dak Prescott.
Tony Pollard impressed me. Now, RB1 over there. He impressed me. Just not only, it's not gonna be the same way they play him. He has to play like how Zeke did, in between the tackles, as far as run plays, dive plays. Like he can't just be, a scat back now. And so I think he had maybe over 14, 15 attempts, which for a pretty good number. I can't remember the whole stat line. Let me check it real quick. But he impressed me. So it'll be interesting. I will say this. I will definitely lock in. Excuse me. I got a lock for bets next week already. Definitely believe that the Cowboys D-line will get over 3.5 sacks. Yeah. Oh, Tony Pollard played excellent, man. He had 14 carries, 70 yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns. I mean, the only way you play better than that is getting over 100 yards. That's a solid performance. So, no, that's pretty good by him. So, yeah, no, I think that game you can get a lot of good bets, good money on that. I'll be intrigued, too. One more game.
Well, no, I got to say something about Browns and Steelers. That game. Yeah, no, I think that game right there, that's another one where it's like the Steelers, you guys have to show, like, another thing, like, because you guys were so, like, bad, like, offensively in that first half. Second half wasn't as bad. But that first half was so bad. You obviously are going to be better by week 3, week 4, week 2. You got to start getting better. So it's another type of improvement thing. Pickens, where is Pickens? Like, where is that connection that we saw in the preseason? They had the best preseason. We need to see that now in the regular season between Pickett and Pickens. People got really high expectations for Pickens. And still with Najee Harris, like that right now you're really thinking, like, if you're a fantasy owner, like it's like what Dwight said. If you don't see it on tape, is it really there? Like, we haven't really seen it yet. And Najee has all this ability. It really doesn't matter until it starts to show up on tape. So that's the team. So right there, it's like the Steelers. And we know Steelers can go to the playoffs. They can always go to the playoffs because they have Mike Tomlin as a head coach. but you guys got to offensively get their thing. And now you're going against the Browns, who look really hot. With that defense of Myles Garrett and Deshaun Watson got things to clean up, but he could be MVP type of ability by then. That's going to be a really good game, division game Monday night. I mean, we should see some, you should see a really tough game. I wouldn't even surprise if that game went under because how tough I think Pittsburgh is going to have to play.
Yeah, you'll get my pick on that game. Let's carry on. Carry on. Here we go. Rapid fire picks of the week. Here we go. Vikings at Eagles. I already told you. Eagles minus 7.5. They're at home opener. They play way better than they did last week.
We doing money line? Or we doing spreads?
Spreads minus 7.5. Anytime I got a guarantee, my new word is shellac. The Vikings will get shellacked. Pause. They get shellacked. So this game minus 7.5.
You gotta say pause after you say shellacked.
I mean, it sounds like a pausable word.
Okay.
That's your new shellac. Pause.
That's your new catchphrase. That's your new catchphrase.
I'm just saying.
They getting shellacked.
They're getting shellacked. So Eagles minus 7.5. What you got for that one?
7's a lot. So I'm gonna say Vikings plus 7. I just think the Vikings, like you just said, Justin Jefferson, 130 yards in the first half, should have had 130 in the second half. I do think that the head coach recognizes that same type of thing where it's like you got to feed. That's where they messed up. That's probably where they lost that game because it was a close game with Tampa. You keep feeding him Jefferson in the second half. I think they keep it within 7. That's a whole touchdown. So that's a very large spread. It will probably move. It will probably move to and it will probably move to 8 by the end of the week. I mean, because people are probably going to bet on the Eagles, but I like the Vikings plus 7. And if you can get more points by the end of the week, I'll hop on it because the Vikings got something to prove. A playoff team, they have playoff expectations. So, yeah, keep that thing within 7.
Raiders at Bills.
I don't see a spread here.
I don't either because the Bills are playing right now.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'll take the it's probably going to be something like minus 3.5, 4, 5. So I think, you're going to have to rock with the Bills because the Raiders still, Garoppolo, I think he actually had a little injury during that game. So
he's good. He'll play. This game is tricky. This game is a tricky trap game for the Bills. I won't lie. This early in the season, them playing this good right now. No Aaron Rodgers. They're going to be riding high. They're finna blow out the Jets right now. I just seen them get an interception. So, I think they cover though. I think they cover. Be mindful of a garbage time backdoor cover by the Raiders, but give me the Bills, whatever the spread is.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Bengals and Ravens at Cincinnati minus 3.5. I'm gonna have to go with you know what, man.
I don't know, bro. This is a tough one.
I'm gonna stay off. I'm just gonna stay off of it. No pick there. I'm gonna stay off of it.
No, you gotta make a pick for the audience.
All right. For the audience, we'll go. Man, we gotta take the points with the Ravens at plus 3.5. I mean, you just 3.5. It might move to 4. So take the points.
Yeah, we'll both go. I'll go Ravens plus 3.5 as well. This season. Chiefs at Jags.
I'll take the Chiefs minus 3. I think the number is pretty short. Could be a high scoring game. So if it's a shootout, even that they might have to, that might be a touchdown winning drive. I could see it being 4. It's a very close. I'm not going to bet on that but for the fans, you know what I mean? Like I will talk about, I would say the Chiefs, minus 3.
I think the Jags want to get their get back. Give me the Jags plus 3.
Okay. Chargers and Titans. Chargers minus 3 is the line. Titans plus 3 is the line. So
This is another tough one because both these teams are not
You
terrible.
know,
They're not great right
I'm
now.
seeing Brandon Staley get fired here pretty soon. So
I think I'm on that. I'm on that too. I'm on that too.
yeah, and I
Let's see that
think
coming.
Mike Vrabel is a much better coach. So I'm gonna take the Titans money line. I'll take them to win that game.
Ooh, money line, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
D Hop looked good too. He got 10 catches.
I like. This is a tough one. I like Chargers money line.
Okay.
Packers at Falcons.
Yeah. Green Bay looked good. Falcons look okay too, So that's a very close one. It's only Green Bay -1. It's basically a pick 'em. And I'm gonna go with Atlanta because Bijan looked very, very good. The hype is real. Still got to figure it out with Drake London and Kyle Pitts. But I think Atlanta, I mean, these teams both, it's gonna be like, I think people are going to be riding with the Packers. The money will probably go towards the Packers. It might even move. The line might even move to Green Bay -2.5. But I just see it being one of those games where two teams who don't have playoff expectations, really going to be considered bad teams in the NFL, bottom of the tier, bottom 10 of the barrel. So I think that this could just be one of those it will be an upset if Atlanta wins. So I'll take Atlanta.
I like the Packers. Go Pack Go. Seahawks at the give me Go Pack Go money line. Seahawks at the Lions. This game is interesting because Seahawks, they were surprising upset by the Rams, who has no Cooper Kupp, still has Matthew Stafford, still has Aaron Donald. I don't think that the Seahawks could win. They could win this game. They could not. But where that point spread is, definitely give me the Seahawks plus the points.
Yeah.
I think Geno plays a way better game this game.
Lions, I didn't get to watch a lot of the Seattle Seahawks game. I think that the Lions, they actually kind of left 2 touchdowns on the board against the Chiefs. So the Lions do look pretty good, -5.5. If I had to pick, I wouldn't pick this game, but if I had to pick, I'd pick the Lions just because their offense looks real. Like, Gibbs looks good too. Like, he only got 6 touches. Like, give that guy 10 to 15 touches, see what happens. And
this is the rule, and this is live Brobo Bets format. I'm just updating you. The rule is we're picking a game as if we're betting. So remember that too, because this will go wins and loss column for us for our record with our bets. So then people kind of could see how we kind of progress through the season. So if you're taking the Lions, like I'm taking the Seahawks plus the point. So if the Seahawks lose but they cover, I still win. So that's kind of how our format is going, just so you know. Just so for everybody in America knows, everybody internationally watching down there in Turks and Caicos, Barbados, Belize, everybody, Mexico. Yes.
Yugoslavia. Yeah, I'm still rocking with the Lions -5.5.
Okay.
I said what I said, period.
All right. Colts at the Texans. Is Anthony Richardson playing? I don't know. He got injured late in the game. Will be interesting to see. I think Texans win this. Their home opener, CJ Stroud, some fireworks. I think this is CJ Stroud's first 3-touchdown game. I don't know if he'll get to 300 yards, but I think he'll get 3 touchdowns this game. So take him over 2.5. That's not a best bet, but I'm just giving you a freebie right there. But I do like the Texans plus the points, +1 right now.
I like that. Yeah, I like that. That's a lot of analysis for a team with two rookie quarterbacks going up against each other. It's gonna be a fun game to watch, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you know what I mean, like, I think the Texans, I thought they looked pretty good last week. I thought DeMeco Ryans had a very good, even though they only scored 9 points, like the players played well. You weren't expected to win. It was expected to be a blowout. So it was a blowout against a Ravens team who does have playoff expectations. But give me the Colts money line or whatever is -1 because I thought Anthony Richardson looked really, really good as well. He didn't make a lot of mistakes. He kept the ball safe. He was throwing it away. He looks really good actually, and he was keeping it. They were keeping it close with the Jags, who have playoff expectations. So they kept it close up until the 4th, and then the Jags ran away with it. But that game was tied up. The Colts were actually winning in the 3rd at one point. So yeah, I'm gonna take the Colts there. They look like the better team. And but it will be a fun game to watch, definitely, with Stroud and Richardson.
That's a lot of analysis for that. Let's move it a little bit quicker here, sir. Anyways, Bears plus the points versus Tampa. I'm giving up on the Bears if they don't win this game. Period.
Giving up on the Bears? What you were on the Bears train?
No, I really wasn't. I'm just saying this is a game that they need to show way better. Justin Fields needs to be able to utilize his arm and his legs in the run game, in the passing game. And I think that if they don't win this one, this says a lot for them. Even though Tampa Bay just played a good game for the Vikings, they weren't expected to win. So I think that they kind of come out lethargic. I think Baker throws an interception in this game as well. So give me the Bears plus the points.
Okay. Give me Tampa minus the points. I thought they beat a good Vikings team as well. Baker looks better. Mike Evans, Hall of Fame receiver. Todd Bowles, he's coaching well. I mean, defense is playing well. So I think the Bucs are the better team. Bears are a disappointment once again, underachieving. I mean, it could go. Justin Fields could have a breakout game, and the Bears could just smack them and play extremely well. That's NFL for you, so that happens sometimes. But I will take right now at this moment of time. I'm going to go with the Bucs -3.
All right, Giants, Cardinals.
Yeah,
Giants -4.
Okay.
Sorry to Nicky Rallis, man, but yeah, Giants -4.
Man, yeah, I'll go with the Giants -4 as well. They got to come out. They got to play hard. They got a lot to prove. Week 1 was such a disappointment. This is a get-up game, so it's like if you can just smack them, lay on the points, it's good momentum for the team heading into week 3.
Saquon gets 2 touchdowns this game.
Okay, so we got next 49ers and the Rams. San Francisco -8. That's a big spread. Rams look pretty good, so I'm gonna have to rock with 49ers. I'm gonna have to go with 49ers -8. Just
this is what I'm gonna say. This is what I'm gonna say. You can tell Dwight and Reese. This is what I'm gonna say, because this is my moment today. Now that I've found my clip for this week's trailer. If the San Francisco 49ers don't cover this spread, that shit they did last week, garbage. I don't want to hear it because it's week 1. Reese calling my phone. Everybody hit me up. I don't run from nobody. Still ain't running. Y'all won. Y'all was a better team. I gave y'all props. But this is better be a locked-in pick. They better shellac the Rams -8. Give me the 49ers. And if they don't, I'm going to damn sure have some words for them motherfuckers.
All right.
All righty. Next to the Jets and the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
I like Cowboys. Another shellac. -10. No Aaron Rodgers. This game is -10.
Okay. I agree. I'm going to go with the Cowboys. Defense looks very good. Could be the best in the league this year. Next, Commanders and the Broncos. Denver -3.5 is the spread. Man,
I kind of told you about them Broncos.
Yeah, Jerry Jeudy might come back too, so I'm gonna rock with the Broncos on this one. Sam Howell, still got a lot of questions about Sam Howell, so I'm gonna go with the Broncos on that -3.5.
What I'm gonna say about the Commanders, they're not like a Patriots, like they're not Bill Belichick, but they have kind of the same spirit. They fight hard, bro. They were supposed to blow the Cardinals out. They were down, came back and won. Terry McLaurin's healthy. Sam Howell's healthy. Chase Young should be playing next week, I believe, or did he play this week? I don't know, but they should play better. Give me them plus the points.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Dolphins at Patriots. This is an interesting game, man. It's an interesting game because it depends on what Bill Belichick does to scheme up for Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. I don't know if they have enough. Give me the Dolphins -2.5.
Yeah. Man, it's always hard to pick against Belichick, but I'm going to go with the Dolphins -2.5 as well. I do think they look like a Super Bowl contender this year.
Okay. Browns at the Steelers. Give me my squad plus the points, man. Here we go.
Oh, we got the Saints and the Panthers.
See that first. Yeah. Saints at the Panthers. Yeah, give me the Saints -3.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with man, you know what? Derek Carr did not look too good, but that's gonna be 3. It might go to 3.5.
I think they play better on Monday night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. I'll go with the Saints -3.
Like I
Derek
said,
Carr
man,
gonna play better.
you ain't gonna get me to root for them always. So you better get it when you can. Saints -3. And then
Yeah.
Browns coming to Pittsburgh. You know what time it is, man. Like I just said, give me my squad plus the points. The line is at -2. It'll be interesting to see if that goes up or that goes down. Either way, give me my squad plus the points.
Yeah, that's I mean, I think I'm surprised it's actually only 2. You would think it'd be like, just because, Browns played so well and the Steelers, I mean, they had things to work out, but in the second half, they looked a lot better. But I will go with Cleveland -2. Just look like the better team right now.
Yeah. And man,
all right.
any best bets of the week there, sir? Anything you got here? Like I said, best bets for me, lock 3 bets for me. Cowboys sacks over 2.5. I like who's gonna do something offensively?
I'll say I like the Lions -5.5. Like I said before, man, I said what I said. Lions -5.5. I do think they are a better team than they even played last week when they beat the Chiefs. They left 2 touchdowns on the board. I like that.
I like Saquon over 1.5 touchdowns. And I like Deebo Samuel's over combined 100 yards rushing and receiving. So that's receiving and rushing over 100 yards. And I like him over a half a touchdown too as well. That's my lock picks right there. So Deebo, Saquon, and I like the Cowboys defense to go. And I like the Cowboys defense to go over a 1.5 turnovers as well. They're going to get 2 turnovers in that game, and they're going to get over 2.5 sacks for sure.
Got you. Well, I'm going to go rock with the Lions -5.5. That will be my best bet against Seattle, who, I mean, they might get it together. They're kind of a team that usually gets it together by the end of the year anyway, kind of like they start to win games at the second half of the year.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So, there you have it, man. Week 2, hey, what Prime say? We're not coming no more. We here. Week 2's here. We excited, man. Poor Jets, man. Any final words on this, man? As we've seen, Aaron Rodgers ruled out for the rest of this game, looking like a high ankle sprain or a torn ankle. That means he will definitely be out at least the next 8 weeks. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be interesting, man. Interesting to see what the Jets look like in the next 7-8 weeks. If I'll say this, and it'll be my final thoughts before we let go on the airways. If Zach Wilson just can manage them to win at least 4 games out of these next 7, I think that'll be good. With that, I put them at 4-3 with Aaron Rodgers coming back. And if he comes back and he comes back healthy and he stays healthy, he's definitely out of the running for the MVP now. So there won't be no 3-peat by that, but I think that the Jets will still be fine.
Yeah, I think Zach Wilson, man, just like strap up your chin guard, man. It's your time. You got to take over. This is now your team, and you did some things in the preseason, so show it now in the regular season.
You know what's interesting though, bro? It's crazy. We never expected this to happen, but them letting Mike White go, that's crazy. Now, in hindsight, that's crazy. Because I really, if Mike White was playing, I definitely believe him to win them 4 to 5 games.
Well, he's backing up Tua now, so
yeah. So, hey, I mean that's even better for the Dolphins.
Exactly.
Knock on a little wood there, but
yeah,
got some wood behind there.
Yeah.
There you go. All righty. Hey, man, you know what it is. Life of D Green, man.
Parlay Hunter.
Man, you watching Bro Bets. Brought to you by Bro Media. Always follow us for our content, man. Like, comment, subscribe, man. We always going to have some tuned up for you guys, man. Until next week, man, we out of here.
Peace.